What up, people? It's your man, Brandon, live and direct from the Visionary Studios. That's right, illustrious, here in Woodbridge, Virginia. Hope that you and your families are doing well during this time. We're transitioning, right? We kind of getting a bit of a transition from winter to spring. So definitely looking forward to that. So today, I want to discuss, rant, complain, give you some knowledge, talk about student loans, okay? And it's very important that you understand this because within the market that we're in, it's called a seller's market. And I talked about this before in my previous, one of my previous Facebook Lives, and I just want to be able to give you some insight so that you can especially know how to approach things. This is specifically for buyers, okay, out there, or if you're looking even to refinance your home. With regards to student loans, it used to be, okay, the guideline with FHA was whatever showed in your credit report. Let's say a lot of people like to just defer their student loans. I was one of those people. I deferred my student loans for years. I do not recommend that. I'm going on the record. I do not recommend deferring your student loans. Only really if it's a true financial burden. And let me quickly explain that as we go forward. When you defer your student loans, you are also adding interest on top of your principal for every single month, every single year, so it compounds. So essentially now your balance is going up and you're going to put yourself in a much worse position and owe a lot more money at the end of the day. How do I know that? Because it happened to me, okay, for multiple years. And unfortunately, I just didn't know. I didn't have the guidance that was needed. And truth be told, I just didn't have the foresight and I didn't research and ask the right questions myself, maybe even just to pay the principal. Okay, something that I could afford and have the discipline to be able to do that. But again, I don't recommend you doing that because all you're doing is just, you're pushing the debt further and further down the road and you're making an increase. So that's number one. But when you have on your credit report that your student loans are deferred and it shows a zero balance, COVID or no COVID, coronavirus help or no coronavirus help, it does not matter, okay? The lender is going to look at your loan according to the FHA and conventional guideline and say, oh, you have a zero payment on there, we're going to automatically assign 1% of your outstanding balance. It used to be just FHA. It is now conventional loans as well, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Okay, that is essentially it's a punishment in a sense, but you have to learn and understand how to get around that and how to work that, all right? If you have a zero monthly payment on there, you may have something called an income-based repayment. That is good, that is beneficial, but you need to have documentation. So make sure you have something written from your student loan servicer like Navient or the U.S. Department of Education or Nelnet. Have it in writing, showing that you are in an income-based repayment plan. If you have that, then with a conventional loan, they will honor that. FHA will not honor that, okay? Conventional will, FHA won't. They will still count 1% of the outstanding balance against you, okay? And there's ways around that with FHA, but we're not going to get into that today. It'll be kind of much too long. But what I'm saying is this. I don't want people to feel like you're being punished, right, or being automatically put at a disadvantage in case you have student loans. Not everybody can get a scholarship. Not everybody can afford to automatically pay. Again, I was one of those individuals. I had a mix of scholarships and loans. And even through grad school, I had mostly loans. And that accumulates and adds up over time. So when you want to go purchase a home, and let's say you have $80,000 in student loans, all right? If you don't have an income-based repayment, and you're not doing a conventional loan, they're going to say, oh, your monthly payment is $800 because that's 1% of $80,000. Let's say you're one of those really smart people and you have lots of student loan debt because you have lots of education. I've seen plenty of people have $130,000, $140,000 in student loan debt. Plenty, okay? Your monthly payment is what? $1,300 or $1,400. That will count against you in something called your debt to income ratio. So the amount of money you make versus the amount of debt that you have, okay? That's a problem, okay? It's not an unsolvable problem, but it is a major challenge to overcome. So how do we resolve this? Number one, get your credit score as high as possible. You want to get it north of 700. That will greatly increase your probability to get approved for a conventional loan, a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac loan. As a result, you can get an income-based repayment, which will either be zero or very low, hopefully, right? As a result of that, you will have a lower debt-to-income ratio, which will then enable you to purchase more homes. So it will increase your purchasing power. You definitely need that in today's market. In today's market, if someone is putting their house on the market for $350,000, you need to offer $350,000 or possibly more. If someone's putting their house on the market for $526,000, you know what you need to do. Offer that or definitely a little bit more. These days, if you offer a little bit less, you're essentially wasting your time. Now, why am I even mentioning that? Because you have to keep in mind about qualifying for the loan. Okay. And if you offer more or if you offer list price and you're very tight on your debt to income ratio, you're going to set yourself up for frustration, disappointment, and ultimately failure. And here at Visionary Lending, what we do is we try to offer value to you by giving you real world advice and real world guidance so that you and your family can purchase a home and be in a great place. We have real conversations with you. We go over real estimates, real numbers, answer your questions because we are on your side. Okay, it's important to understand where things stand so that you're not strung along in the process. Okay, listen, I'm going to be real with you with regards to challenges and things of that nature in the market. But let me tell you, let me assure you, it is not impossible for you to purchase. Definitely not. Just because there's a shortage per se in what's called inventory does not mean you cannot go out and purchase. It just means you have to be very strategic. You have to be very disciplined and you have to be very intentional. And really on top of that, you have to have the right expectations. Okay. If you need help with regards to the finances, give me a call, 703-268-6750. Check out our website, send me an email, brandon@visionarylending.net. If you need a realtor, depending upon where you want to purchase, we have several excellent agents that we can refer to you. Si tú hablas español and you need someone that speaks Spanish, we have multiple people who speak Spanish who are excellent realtors also. All right. So again, let me just explain this to you. With regards, let me just summarize here. With regards to student loans, if you have very high student loan debt, and I would classify high as over $50,000 in the outstanding balance, okay? Then give us a call so that we can go over the numbers with you, so that we can talk to you, answer your questions, quell any concerns, and have the proper roadmap for when you need to purchase, okay? Also, it depends upon if you're renting. When does your lease end? Maybe you're living with family. All a part of this is the consultation that we give you gratis for free, right? So that you and your family can be set up for success. So hopefully this Facebook Live gives you some value with regards to student loans, all right? Again, my advice to you is to pay your student loans. Don't push them down the road. That's what I'm gonna go on record and say that. But again, if it's going to present a financial hardship for you, then either A, try to work out something where you're just paying the principal, just paying the interest so that interest doesn't accumulate. Or if you do need to do an income-based repayment plan for a certain period of time, then go ahead and do that because it'll make your monthly payment lower. Okay, we're not in the business here of having you just accumulate needless debt that you really should not have here. Okay, that's not something that we do here at Visionary Lending. So again, student loans in and of themselves are not bad. I'm not going to say that student loan debt is evil. I'm not going to be that person that says that. Student loans are necessary so that you can go to college, you get an education, and go into whatever field you're going to get into. And that's all well and good, and we can have another discussion on that or check out one of my podcasts, right, on that. But again, be educated and understand before you go out and purchase a home what the impact of your student loans could or could not have on you qualifying. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. If there's any particular topics that you would ever like for me to discuss, do some Q&A on, send me an email, okay? Brandon@visionarylending.net. I'll be more than happy to discuss that with you. God bless and be safe.